What's going on, guys? It's your guy, Professor O, coming through with a dose of that good gift. Come everywhere like broken glass, I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. What I wanted to get into is about cutting off that situation, or just releasing that energy, right? And I was going to make a video about cutting off this one individual, or cutting off that individual, or cutting off this thing. But if you notice, it's not necessarily always about a person. Sometimes it could be an individual, it could be a situation, it could be a place, it could be a thing, it could be an idea. So what I thought about it, instead of cutting an individual or a situation, listen, just use our English grammar that we've been blessed with since we're in grade school. Cut that noun off. Now what's that noun? That noun again, person, place, thing, or idea, or whatever that you get it. But at the same time I say that because sometimes it's not a person that's no longer resonating with. It may be an idea, something that you may have thought in the past was official, but then now as you've grown, it's not official anymore because it's not resonating. If you notice, a lot of these things that we experience aren't actually tangible. And it's tangible in a sense, like it's physical to a certain degree, like when you're dealing with an individual, yes. But even if you notice, the tangibility only comes through the physicality. But what the relationship is built upon is something that we can't see, smell, taste, or touch. These relationships, they may be involved, but it's the bond that's created. And if you notice that those things are more imperative to our mental than the actual physicality of where we're experiencing it at. I digress, I don't want to get too deep. But if you notice, it's the same. You may not be resonating with no one. This may be an individual, alright, we was cool back in the day, but now as I'm resonating at a different type of frequency, as I'm growing in a different type of path, as I'm continuously working on myself and I see the inner self in me that's continuously growing, how can I become a better person? And again, the beautiful thing about when you're doing the inner work, when you're going inside, because it's like, remember, you're in a potter. You're in a potter's body, meaning that you're in a body of clay. Outside experiences mold you, but so does the inside. But the beautiful thing about the inside is that when you're molding the inside, it's automatically going to mold the outside. And remember, when you're doing exercises, just as an example, when you're doing exercising, you're not working the muscles on the outside, you're working the muscles on the inside. But all the work that you do on the inside starts to show up on the outside. Same on how you do your diet. When you're eating well and eating in a more, how can I say, when you're eating in a more healthy fashion. These are things that's happening on the inside, but it will show on the outside. Everything, once you go in, it's going to show us out. But the thing about it is people want to go out and then expect it to be in. Nah, I don't care. You can't put on cologne. You can't put that Hermes cologne on. You ain't take a shower. You must be. The minute you start sweating, all that cologne gonna wash up, and then you're gonna stink. It's gonna like funk and musk. No one wants that. That ain't wavy. That's not official. It doesn't even line up. You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's just not 100%. You know what I mean? I don't care anything you say, shorty. It don't matter. You got a Bath and Body Works, but you did not go in the bath and make that body work. That's crazy to me. These are real things that's happening. But people don't want to do the inside work. Why they don't want to do the inside work? I said this in the previous video before. They don't get that. It's a certain type of enlightenment. It's not that eureka moment. It's not that aha. Nah, not necessarily. If you see the inside, you be like, yo, I didn't know it looked like this. Pick up that dustpan and broom and get to it. Seriously speaking, start straightening up. And then when you start straightening up, you start making room for more things to grow. But in the process of when you're making more room for things to grow, this happens as well. But now, all right, you're making more room for growth, and this is all inner work. And now you're looking on the things outside that's not serving your inner. You see how we keep going, it keeps going back to the inside? But now you've been doing so much inside work, now you're going out to cater to what's within. This is some deep stuff. I'm trying to tell you, please walk with me, talk with me. I'm trying to tell you, this is some good stuff. So when you're doing the inside work, you're cutting them off, and I need you to please be advised when you start releasing these energies that are no longer serving who you're becoming. I need you to gain some patience with it as well. Reason why I say that is because it becomes addicting. And you don't want to be addicted to any type of situation because it's never, too much of anything is not positive, right? It becomes addicting because now you're seeing things that no longer serve you. You're like, yo, I'm not tolerating that. I don't sit, and it don't gotta be disrespectful. It could just be, you know, you're moving forward. That's all. This is general and personal. It's personal for me because I'm making this personal, but I'm not personally offended. I'm just personally looking on how I can uplift myself. Oh, it's all love, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You don't never want to walk away from something dirty. Walk away clean. That's how, again, you don't ever know. That situation or that relationship or that environment can behoove you in the future. It's just not behooving you in who you are currently. Remember that. Things change as you change. Things change as you change. You get greater, you start to see things in a greater way. But look at things more generally instead of personally, and then you'll be able to see the whole picture in that situation. But I digress. So as you're cutting and you're releasing these energies, I say be patient because again, you gotta realize, number one, you was patient, or you was treated with patience in times where you were ignorant and arrogant in your certain situation. So it's only right if God was able to treat you with such grace for you to mimic that to other situations, because that's you being an ambassador, being positive. That's one. Secondly, you want to gain patience because at the same time, you don't want to nip something in the butt before it is bloomed to see for what it really was. You may be nipping something in the butt and you've been so addicted because you're operating from a point of learning from your past, but you don't want to bring too much of your past to the point where now, all right, I know this is how this works. Not every situation is the same. Not every person is the same. They may reflect certain situations which will also shed light on a trigger that you may still need to work on. But again, take this with a grain of salt because at the same time, you need to learn from your past so you can be able to carve a better path towards your future. That's the whole point of the past. It's not to bring it with you, it's to look back so you can know where to go, right? I digress from that. So now as you're learning, you're releasing energies that no longer serve you. You're doing the cool stuff, right? You're doing the great stuff. It's all adding up. It's all working more for your benefit. Now you're growing, it's growing. The situation is no longer coming towards you like because you're gonna have past situations that you've cut off and they may feel personal. And these are dealing with individuals. They may feel, emotional about the situation, which is fine. They have their right to do it, but they also have to respect the situation that this is a growing thing. This isn't a personal thing with you, or a personal thing between us. It's only me, and I need to grow. You're welcome to grow with me, but sometimes you gotta grow at a distance. And that's a beautiful thing. If they can't respect that, well, that's a sign right there that you're on the right path. Simple as that. We might have to have mutual respect for each other in situations and circumstances. I digress. Let me take a quick look at the notes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up with that. I think I'm definitely gonna wrap it up with that. I like where that was going, and I like how that sounded. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up right there. Listen, peace, love, and light. It's always good to see you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. This message is full of depth. So if it came across your timeline, just know that you're an expert, you're proficient, you're sufficient, and you're doing the darn thing.